We have a front runner in my party who has fed into language that basically justifies physically assaulting people who disagree with you.
Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. I will pay for the legal fees, I promise.
I don't know if that's a real request or him just needling the press, knowing that you guys were going to get outraged by it.
The Biden-Harris campaign bus was swarmed on the highway and seemingly almost run off the road by a caravan of Trump supporters.
I saw yesterday a video of these people in Texas. Did you see it? All the cars on the road with We love what they did, but here's the thing they don't know. We do that in Florida every day.
Wow. You know, many top Republicans cynically downplayed all of Donald Trump's threats, even though they themselves once warned of his very danger and his exact support for violence, like Senator Rubio there. We documented some of this in a special report on Friday that cited an important new article by historian Timothy Snyder on how elected Republicans made a bargain with Trump. It draws on historical lessons about autocrats and propaganda. And Snyder notes the sad fact that 8 GOP senators and more than 100 representatives voted for the lie that had forced them to flee their chambers. We are all still making sense of the insurrection. We're tracking the new facts that do keep emerging, including those new videos, while also trying to draw on history to properly see these threats. They're still out there. And if you know things, like you have the historical knowledge that many autocracies have grown out of and replaced democracies, if you know that some dictators emerged out of initially valid elections and then just didn't leave office, if you know that, then you can better see the difference between, say, hardball politics that may be controversial and an actual threat to our republic. Snyder, a Yale historian, offers that in his piece and specifically divides the Republicans who have been a problem here into 2 factions, breakers and gamers, who are gaming the system to maintain power, meaning they push hard but work within the current rules, while he writes the breakers might actually break the system and have power without democracy. Snyder argues that McConnell is a gamer. He may bash norms, he may block a Supreme Court pick, but all through his use and pressure of the rules themselves, while Republicans like Cruz and Hawley have exposed themselves as more Trumpian breakers. They're literally showing the nation how they would overthrow an election. They just didn't have enough organized support to pull it off this month. Now, both factions converge on reinforcing Donald Trump's lies for years, which was key to building towards the insurrection. And Snyder's telling many Trump claims were, quote, small lies, and their main effect was cumulative. To believe in all of them was to accept the authority of a single man and disbelieve everything else. The history of autocrats and dictators is rife with lies and propaganda because the dictator tries to control not only reality, but any and all perception of it, your perception of it, which is kind of deep. It also links to why Donald Trump's last big lie as president has proven to be the most violent and the most tied to ending democracy. He worked with a long-standing team of liars, but this last big lie has actually gotten millions of people to be wrong about the fact that Trump lost this election.
They're giving Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
I thought Louisiana was very unfair. I won Louisiana. I won it easily. I think I did win the popular vote in a true sense. I think there was tremendous cheating.
This election was a fraud. It was a rigged election.
We are joined now by the renowned professor of history at Yale University, Timothy Snyder. He's the author of many things, including specifically The American Abyss in the New York Times. Your work is influential. This piece was really striking. Thank you for writing it. Help us understand why you focus on those 2 groups, the breakers and the gamers in this party.
Well, I'm trying to get us as Americans to see some of the structural problems with our democracy. I'm assuming that people who read the piece or who watch your show want our democracy to thrive, and I want us to see that we have the same kinds of problems that other democracies that have failed could have. The Republican Party is based around the idea of gaming the system, keeping some people from voting, keeping the dark money flowing in, gerrymandering the districts. The problem with that strategy is that if you game the system long enough, you stop believing in the system. And people start to emerge, maybe even a presidential candidate like Mr. Trump, who think, well, you know, these rules, they're really just a joke. And then somebody says that for long enough and other people start to believe it. People doubt for a while, they think it's just a joke. But after a while, you know, you get to a point where he tells a big lie, as you say. And then at that point, November of 2020, you see, okay, all these people have been gaming the system, but they've been raising another generation, let's say Mr. Hawley, who are ready not to take the system seriously at all. And so when Mr. Trump says, hey, let's break the system, let's lie, let's say our democracy doesn't work, you have people who react and say, yes, that's right. And if it fails in 2020, maybe it'll succeed in 2024. And then that becomes a new possibility. And that's where you start to see a little bit of a split between the breakers and the gamers, where McConnell and others would like to consolidate the way they do things and hold off this threat from the folks who would like to break the system.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.